From Zakham to Shifa, the Mirror Experiment. Assalamu alaikum, beautiful souls, and welcome back to From Zakham to Shifa, our sacred space where we discover that sometimes the most profound healing comes not from being right, but from being willing to see ourselves through the eyes of those we love most. I am your sister on this journey, and today we are diving into something that might make you a little uncomfortable. The courage to ask our children to hold up a mirror to our parenting, and the wisdom to look into it without breaking it. This is about the delicate dance between mothers and teenage daughters, where both sides feel misunderstood, both sides feel they are giving more than they are receiving, and both sides are probably right. This is about an experiment in vulnerability that taught me more about my daughters and myself than years of arguments ever could. The setup when love feels like war. Picture this. It's a Tuesday evening, and I am sitting at my kitchen table feeling like I'm failing at the one job that matters most to me. My teenage daughters and I've been locked in this cycle. Me feeling disrespected, them feeling suffocated. Me wondering when I became the villain in their story. Them wondering when I became so uncool. I respected my parents, I kept thinking. I never rolled my eyes, never talked back, never made them feel like they were asking too much when they asked for basic courtesy. But here were my daughters, seemingly allergic to my very existence, treating every request like a personal attack on their freedom. And they, on their end, were probably thinking, why she gotta be in her mom core era 24/7? Like, chill. Not everything needs to be a TED Talk. Just trust the vibe and let us live for real. For those of us who are too old to comprehend this Gen Alpha dialect, I will translate. Basically, it means, why can't she just be a cool mom like other moms? Why does everything have to be a lecture? Why can't she just trust us and stop being such a mom all the time? Both of us were carrying wounds. Me carrying the weight of feeling unappreciated, questioning if I was raising ungrateful children. Them carrying the weight of feeling like they could never measure up to my expectations. Like I was always disappointed in who they were becoming. That is when I decided to try something that terrified me. An experiment in radical honesty. For 1 week, each of us would document the times we felt hurt, disrespected, or frustrated by the other. At the end of the week, we would listen to others' grievances without judgment or resistance, not to attack but to understand, not to prove who was right, but to see where we are missing each other. The Quran's call to justice. Before we began this experiment, I turned to the Quran for guidance. Allah says, "O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah, even if it be against yourself, your parents, and your relatives." Even if it be against yourself. This verse is not just about courtroom justice. It is about the courage to speak truth even when it might reveal our own shortcomings, even when it might challenge our assumptions about ourselves as parents. I realized that in my quest to raise respectful daughters, I had forgotten to model the very respect I was demanding. I wanted them to see my perspective, but when had I last truly tried to see theirs? I wanted them to appreciate my sacrifice, but when had I last acknowledged the sacrifices they were making? The sacrifice of childhood, of simplicity, of the safety of not having to navigate the complex world of teenage relationships and expectations. The uncomfortable revelations. The uncomfortable revelations. At the end of the week, we sat down with our lists. I was prepared for pages of complaints about my strictness, my lectures, my embarrassing mom moments. But what I got instead was almost nothing. "You yelled at me when I forgot to do the dishes," my eldest said. "And you kept interrupting me with your blah 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 when I was telling a story," said the younger one. That was it. 2 incidents in 7 days. Meanwhile, my list was extensive, every eye roll documented, every sigh catalogued, every moment of what I perceived as disrespect carefully noted with timestamps. The revelation hit me like a gentle earthquake. I wasn't just sensitive, I was hypersensitive. My daughters were not unusually disrespectful, I was unusually fragile. My past experiences, my own childhood wounds, my fear of raising ungrateful children had created a lens through which I saw disrespect where there was none. But here's the beautiful part. When I shared this realization with my daughters, something shifted. "Mama," my youngest said, "we don't mean to hurt your feelings. We are so comfortable with you that we don't have to pretend to be perfect." Their attitude wasn't rejection, it was trust. Their complaints were not disrespect, they were comfort. They were being their authentic selves with me because they felt secure in my love. With others, they were polite, careful, measured. With me, they were real. The strength I did not see. The experiment revealed something else that humbled me completely. My daughters were made of stronger stuff than I had given them credit for. While I was collecting grievances like precious stones, they were letting things roll off their backs. They did not take my morning grumpiness personally. They did not hold on to my occasional snappy responses. They did not document every time I was too strict because they understood, even when I did not, that my strictness came from love, not control. My daughters had been responding to my sensitivity with kindness I had not even noticed. They had been adjusting their behavior not because they were afraid of me, but because they cared about my feelings. I had been so focused on teaching them respect that I had missed the profound respect they were already showing me. The respect of being their authentic self to our relationship, trusting that I could handle their humanity without withdrawing my love. Reframing the relationship. This experiment didn't just change how I saw my daughters, it changed how I saw myself as a mother. I realized that the cool mom I thought I needed to be was not exactly what they needed. They needed the mom who would listen to their complaints without taking them personally. They needed the mom who would hold boundaries without holding grudges. They needed the mom who could see their trust for what it was, even when it came wrapped in teenage attitude. I started to understand that their willingness to be difficult with me was not a sign of disrespect. It was a sign of the deep respect they felt in our relationship. They knew they could test boundaries, express frustrations, even be unreasonable sometimes, and I would still be there. That's not disrespect. That's profound trust. Beautiful souls, if you are struggling with your teenagers, if you are feeling like you are failing because they are not the grateful, respectful children you imagined you would raise, I want you to consider this. Maybe they are not disrespecting you. Maybe they are trusting you with their authentic self. Maybe their complaints are not evidence of ingratitude, but evidence of how safe they feel with you. Maybe their attitude is not rebellion, but the natural expression of young people who know they don't have to perform perfection to earn your love. Before you go, I want you to ask yourself, what would change in your relationship with your teenagers if you started seeing their comfort with you as a compliment rather than a challenge? And what would shift if you considered that your sensitivity to their behavior might be more about your own wounds than their actual disrespect? This is From Zakham to Shifa. Until we meet again, may you find the courage to see your children and yourself with eyes of compassion rather than judgment. Barakallahu fi. Wassalamu alaikum.